Okay, I saw this post yesterday from Yul Edochie. We come to this world, we struggle to have everything, then we leave everything and die. So, what's the essence of coming here? Who knows? He asked a question. And going into the comment section, I saw this message. Vicky Sweet said, I wonder. Then Oga Landlord replied, nobody knows. That's why we need to stay humble because life is a mystery. Then Merciful Boy Comedy said, this is the only question I've been asking myself ever since I know good and bad. In fact, creating humans into this world is meaningless to me because I don't see any reason why one would suffer on the earth, make wealth, and die, leave it behind. This is so creepy. Now, you can have all of this kind of question because you don't even know the truth. Now, this has been applicable to me for so many years. I've asked for the answer of this question, but eventually I got the answer. But to start with that, I want to say something because growing up as a childhood, of my own childhood, growing up, we were taught in the Catholic Church that God created us to love Him, to serve Him, to worship Him, and to live with Him, to be happy with Him in heaven. Now, I came to the understanding that if actually God created us to serve Him, worship Him, and to be happy with Him in heaven, He would have just created us in heaven instead of bringing us down here. So, little did I know that my seeking have started. And it is written that if you seek, you will surely find. Okay, in seeking, you must be humble. That means you have to have serious humility because humility comes with wanting to learn. That means, okay, the knowledge I already have before, yes, I accept that it's not enough for me. That is the only time that you can be a true seeker. Now, because if you are going to seek, you are going to have a new knowledge and you must be open to learning that new knowledge. Now, you get the knowledge and see if actually that knowledge is the truth. If it's not the truth, then you discard it. That is what was applicable to me. After so many years of looking for the answer to this question, I eventually found the answer. And at that point I found the answer, I didn't know that my seeking got to earnest seeking, and that was why I found the answer. And that answer I'm going to share with you today, so that for as many, because if you look at the comment section of that post, so many people there don't even know the answer to this. And I think, how can we be living in a world where we are and we don't even know where we are going? It's strange. Now, I ask you this simple question. If you don't even know why you are here on earth and what you are doing on earth and how you came here, how do you then know where you are going to? Which means you are lost. And that is why you see people making all of those comments in the comment section. Now, to answer this question, I will give two simple examples that will help me to answer this question, because I want to make the answer as simple as possible so that even a layman will understand this. Okay, the two examples, I'll start with the first one. I want you to understand that existence can take on form as a result of radiation automatically, or a particular radiation can give birth to existence, and I'm going to prove it. So how do I want to prove this now? Get a smoked fish, because it's something everybody knows. Get a smoked fish, put it in a leather, tie it. Make sure that the leather is not porous so that you will be sure that nothing is coming in from the external. Then close it and drop it somewhere in your house. Allow it there for like a week. Come back, open that leather, and you will see something. What are you going to see? Maggots. These maggots were not existing before, but they came into existence because of the radiation that was found at that inside that leather, and what that representation produced. That is what gave birth to them, and that is how existence can happen automatically. That is the first. Then the second one, I will use a corn seed to give that example. If you have a corn seed, don't forget that corn seed is just like it's dead, right? but in reality it's alive because if you plant it, it will grow. But on the surface of on direct contact with the sunlight, it cannot germinate. But once you dig the ground and you bury it inside and close it where it does not have direct access of sunlight, within 3 days it will germinate into a corn plant. So these two examples is going to help us as we proceed in this explanation. Now we are going into spirituality. If you have not been concentrating before, it's time for you to concentrate because we want to talk about spiritual. In the beginning, only the Almighty existed, and the Almighty is light. Now, naturally, because of the kind of light the Almighty is producing, around him is an ocean of light because it's radiating. It's just like, for instance, the sun. You can see where the sun is, light is shining. So that's just the picture. Now, that light that is emanating from the Almighty has a point where it terminates. That point where it terminates forms a circle around him, and it is called the divine realm. Now, this divine realm, because of the radiation, some beings took on form automatically. And that was why I gave you the example of the maggots, how they took on form based on the radiation inside the leather. So beings took on form automatically. Beings like the Queen of Heaven, which is Queen Elizabeth, the archangels, even Lucifer took on form here, and the elders took on form in this realm. Now, you can liken this pictorially so that you can understand if you want, for better understanding. Take, for instance, we have a dark room. We put a lantern in the middle of the room. You can equally try it. The lantern will shine to a particular part of the room where you will see a circle. The other parts will be dark, but that middle will be shining. It's just that presentation. That round light around, it is what we are explaining as the divine realm. I hope you understand now, so I will go further. Now, when you heard that it was written that let there be light when creation is about to start fully. What that means is that a part of the Almighty, which is light, journeyed out of him and anchored itself at the boundary where that divine realm terminates. He anchored there, and since it is light, it shines further again to create more world, that is to further creation. And 2 worlds was created in the process. The pure spiritual world, which has 7 realms, and the spiritual world, which has 7 realms also. Now, beings also took on form automatically again according to how they can withstand the intensity of this light, or according to the radiation of the realms. Beings took on form. Now, where the light terminated from that part of the Almighty that anchored at the boundary of the divine realms, it also terminated at a point. The last realm where it terminated, that is where paradise is located. Now, anything outside there, creation ends. Now, if you look at that picture presentation I showed you, you will see some seeds there. Those seeds are called spirit seeds. Their true nature, they are spirits. But because of the radiation at the paradise, they want to enter, but they can't, so that they can take on form and be conscious, because they are unconscious. They cannot become conscious. Just like the corn seed I told you about. Due to the radiation of direct sunlight, it cannot germinate. Now, I want to give you a picture presentation so that you can understand something very well. How beings took on form and how everybody maintains his realm. Now, take for instance this example. On a halogen light and gather people to stand in front of the halogen light and tell them to open their eyes at night. You'll see that people cannot open their eyes. So you now tell them, okay, since you cannot open your eyes, continue to shift back. Continue to shift back. At any point where you are able to open your eyes and look at the light comfortably, stand at that point. you will realize that people will no longer stand at the same point, because the point that is conducive for Mr. A will not be the point that is conducive for Mr. B. So people will continue to shift back according to how their eyes can retain the light, and you will find out that everybody will just take his position automatically. Again, that tells you about a law in creation, which is one of the divine laws, the law of individuality. So those spirit seed are unconscious, but they can see the activities of what is happening in paradise, how those conscious beings are living according to the will of the Almighty and are following the divine laws of the Almighty. They want to be part of this enjoyment, but they can't. Now, the beings in paradise saw the yearning of these ones wanting to be like them. So their joint volition of wanting these ones to also be like them, the Almighty saw it. Which means the Almighty saw the joint volition of the beings in paradise wanting the other ones to be like them, the spirit seed to be like them, and he saw the yearning of the spirit seed wanting to be like those conscious beings. And because of love of the Almighty, creation extended again, so that another new world can be created that will be far apart from where that light terminates at paradise, so that these ones, the intensity of the light will be reduced for them, so that they can now manifest according to the radiation. And if you look at that picture presentation again, you will see that at the boundary of the last world that was created after 7 realms there, you will see that Earth is the last. Now you can see the distance now. So at this point it's conducive for them to take on form. So now spirit seeds will be buried, will go down. We have to journey down and come to Earth and manifest as human beings and become conscious beings. Just like the corn seed I told you about, they cannot germinate with direct contact with sunlight. But if you bury it, it will now germinate. That is what we are experiencing now. We are now conscious beings. But you must take note of something. What you must take note of is that, if you can see now, the intensity of light has been reduced and cool off, and something remarkable will happen. Now, all those beings that took on form from the divine to paradise, they cannot go against the will of the Almighty, because the intensity of the light there is close to the Almighty. So they cannot go, no evil can take on form there. But coming down to this earth, the light has cooled off. And because human being is a spirit, he has free will. And free will means you can now decide to do good or bad. So because of the distance between that light, evil can manifest here now. But in reality, our purpose of being on earth here, and why God, out of his love, allowed this to happen, is for us to have the opportunity to become conscious, so that due to experiencing on earth here, we will develop our spirits to become conscious, so that whenever we finish our earthly life here as conscious beings that already identify the divine laws of creation and are following the divine law of creation, when we drop our physical body, which we call death here, the spirit will ascend, and this time around is going into paradise as a conscious being and no longer a spirit seed. That is why we are created to this world. But unfortunately, on getting here, good and bad is here. People started doing evil instead of good. And with that note, interference was needed. That is why the light continued to send help upon help upon help, and even to the extent that Jesus Christ himself has to journey down from the divine realm to come and try to show us the way, so that we will find our way back to paradise. Because our primary assignment in paradise, on earth here, is to replicate the activity that is happening in paradise. Now, what is happening in paradise is what we are supposed to be doing here. That is why we often say this prayer, and that's why Christ gave this prayer also. Let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Now, the will we are talking about here is the divine laws. The divine laws that is applicable, that all the beings are swinging in heaven. We as humans, we are supposed to replicate that. And if only we got it right and we are living according to that will on earth here, there will be no hate, there will be no fighting, there will be no destruction. Everything will just be about love, kindness, good acts. That is how we'll be developing our spirits towards the light. And this world will just be like an extension to paradise, that spirit seeds will just come down, live a good life. After everything, after maturing the spirit, they will just ascend back and return to paradise. So that is the major and primary purpose why earth was created. Now I ask you this simple question: is this an act of love or not? But again, humanity failed to understand. And you can see how in the comment section, people are ridiculing the Almighty, that why did He create them to this world? It is all by love. If not for the love of the Almighty giving us this opportunity, those we will continue to be a spirit seed forever. Okay, now talking about the divine laws, I think that one will be a video for another day. Subscribe to my channel, follow, share this video so that others may learn from it. And Yul Edochie, this answers your question. But if you have doubts about this, you can contact or DM and more explanation will unfold. Thank you.